Hey guys, welcome to a very special episode of That New Show. Today I am joined by the composer to one of my favorite games, Payday 2. He's also did the music for Bionic Commando Rearmed, and the trailer for Gear Up. So check that out, 'cause it's really cool. I am joined by, all the way in Sweden, it's Simon Viklund. Simon, how you doing today?
Good, good.
Awesome, good to hear. Um, let's get right into it. What made you want to compose music for video games?
Um, Mainly comes out of my passion and interest in music generally. And then I had a friend who started a company where, yeah, they would develop video games, and I was like, "Hey, can I maybe do the music?" And they were uh, kind of like, "Well, we have a guy who's doing the music, but you can make a few demo tracks, and if we like them, we can maybe you and the other guy can do it together." And then apparently they liked my stuff very much because they fired the other guy, and then I got to do all the music. So that's how I got started.
Nice. What
I
was
actually went to high school for art, so I wasn't that much into music back then, but it kind of developed over time.
Oh, really? Um, what was the company that you originally started with?
Grin.
Grin? Okay. So Grin was your first company. You joined back in, I believe, 2007, and you worked on Commando Rearmed. And I read the reviews for Rearmed, and one of the things that they kept mentioning was the fact that the soundtrack was so cool and was so memorable. How does that feel when game reviewers like make a note to talk about the soundtrack?
If I made the music, then it's of course very nice reading about that. And even if it's a review for another game where I didn't make the music, it's still fun to see that your area of interest or whatever is um, is not neglected, because music and sound is often neglected in reviews, and it's nice when it's appreciated.
Yeah. Like, what is the process when it comes to like making music for video games? Is it one of those where they all the companies give you creative freedoms, like just go have at it, or do they say, "Hey, I'm looking for more of like an '80s sound. I want a little rock in there, etc."
And I have made a few like um, what's the word, freelance projects,
Mm-hmm.
and then of course you have to follow exactly what the client wants, uh, and that would be one of those cases where you really have to listen to someone and do exactly as they're paying you for it. So um, you're kind of limited in what you're gonna give them. Probably they've contacted you because you have that sound or you have that style that they're looking for. So then you can't, explore or change that up too much. But when I'm working as a composer at a company, and I'm actually part of the company, then of course I'm in charge more and can kind of come up with the ideas myself, of course, in collaboration with other, creative heads who can agree or disagree with what I'm proposing. But then it's more on me to actually develop that, and I don't have to, you know. It comes originally from me, and I can say I'm thinking electronic music, and then people can say no, this is a pirate game. We can't have
Yeah,
electronic music. So
yeah. I was reading up.
it's
Yeah.
different. It's different between Overkill, as since I work at Overkill, and when I'm doing freelance stuff. But both are
Mhm.
fine because I mean, creative limitations can also be kind of liberating.
What was the biggest difference going from Grin to working over at Overkill?
Oh, it was back to basics in terms of size and you know, just personnel, like the muscles in the company, the scope of the projects that we could attempt to take on was very different, because Grin, right before it ended, was a beast, and we could do huge projects. and then suddenly we were like 8 guys starting all over from the beginning, and it was kind of like a almost like a garage company. We would sit in a room that wasn't really fitted for computer, like an office. The ventilation was horrible, and whenever someone turned off the microwave, a fuse would blow and all the computers would die, and we had to save all our stuff before anyone used the microwave. It was just,
Oh wow.
back to yeah, that kind of eating noodles, trying to survive on as little money as possible because we didn't have, a huge budget or anything. So that was really, it was a huge change in a lot of ways.
I bet it must be really nice to see, yeah, like how you just went from like this small garage, and now you guys have made a game that's being played by millions all over the world. Have numerous events going on. Like right now, you have the Hype Train event for Payday 2, where you buy DLC and it goes towards like this collective event thing, and it's really cool. And it's really like awesome just to hear that backstory. How did like when did you know that like your music made it big?
Are you thinking Payday or are you thinking
Just in
generally?
general, like when was the like at what point did you realize, holy crap, this is, my music's popular, everybody's liking it?
That was probably Bionicle Commander Rearmed, and I had made the music for a couple of games before that, and it had been appreciated, but that was kind of before social media was big. That was in 2001, 2002. I made the music to two of Grin's first games, and I got in contact with some people through email, but there was no like, Facebook wasn't, it didn't exist, Twitter didn't exist, so you couldn't get in touch with people as easily as you can now. And of course, you don't put up your email address on the internet to like, email me. I didn't have a website or anything. So I heard that people liked the music, which was nice. But when we released Bionic Commando Rearmed, that was really, the reviews. Everyone loved it in the reviews. Fans seemed to like it. Like everyone thought that, just as with the game itself, the music kept enough of the original, sound and the original melodies and harmonies, but added enough new stuff to feel um, current, and add something new.
Awesome. Do you have like a ritual when it comes to your creation process? Like you like to be doing this, drinking this at the time, or
Nah, no, not really. Like I use my cell phone to record stuff whenever I come up with melodies. I might be falling asleep. I might, be cooking food or standing waiting for the bus or whatever. And then this melody pops into my head, and I have to grab my phone and kind of hum it or beatbox something, or just I come up with stuff because I know that's going to be gone in a couple of minutes when I hear something. If I step on the bus and there's you know, some music on the radio, whatever I had in my head is going to be lost. So I have to record it quickly. And then when I sit down by the computer later on, I can bring up those recordings and try to realize those things, those ideas in the computer
yeah.
with my software. So that's my process, but there's no like rituals
Oh, okay.
surrounding it.
All right. Um, did you ever have like that one song that you made that you either just like really love, or you're just like, "Ah, why did I make this?"
Well, if I'm not happy with something, I generally don't release it. Some people like modders, PC players who've been fooling around with the files in Payday, or the first Payday even, I think they've been discovering some tracks that are kind of hidden in the game files that aren't actually accessible in the game. So those are unfinished tracks that I wasn't happy with and didn't get released with the game, but they're in there in the code somewhere.
Oh,
I
that's
don't know
cool.
why they're still there. So that's some stuff can get out, but I don't have to stand for it because I didn't say this is good enough. It's just accidentally kind of leaked. Uh, but of course, I've made a few tracks that I'm really happy with. It's hard to pick, one, but it's always that moment when you have an idea and you find the right like synthesizer sound or the right sound for the bass line or whatever, and it all comes together with a beat and everything, and then you kind of crank up the volume in your studio and listen to it, and you just figure this is going to work. And I can sit there and nod my head to my own music and be like, this is gonna people are gonna really enjoy this, and that's a nice feeling.
Yeah, I loved listening to. I always love listening to Evil Eye and Time Window on the Payday soundtrack 'cause it's just so good. Like, and it's one of those like I'll be at work and I'll listen to like, all right, I've suddenly got a lot more energy, and they're probably like the two tracks that I would always recommend for any Payday fan or anybody listening to your music. That they're just so good, just so awesome. Um,
It seems a lot of people appreciate the music I make and listen to it outside of the game, like when they're working out or they're out running or studying or working or whatever they're doing. It seems to work as kind of um, just inspiring or pulse increasing music, for when you want to get going.
yeah, get the adrenaline
Uh,
pumping.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's partly because I kind of s- skip that whole subtle like I don't write the music, at least not for Payday. I haven't made any music that's supposed to be like too much in the background. I let the music take up a lot of attention and take a lot of space. Um, so the music is kind of intrusive, which I don't think most composers would describe their music, or what would want to make. They don't want to make music that's too intrusive. But I let the music be kind of loud, and I often flirt with what you would hear in a club or what you would hear on the radio. So I try to come up with melodies and riffs and grooves that are kind of get stuck in your head, and that would you could possibly hear on the radio. And I think that's part of why the music works outside of the game as well. I'm just happy that it fits into the game too, which
Yeah.
is nice.
What lured you into electronic music? Because I know, like reading on your bio, it says you love electronic music, and like I noticed like you sort of like incorporate that into most of your music.
Yeah, well, it's partly because I'm not, a good enough uh, instrumentalist. I can play the bass guitar, and I can play the piano and guitar, and I can
Hmm.
sing a bit, but I don't have any uh, classic education in composing, classic music or anything. And then it's just nice to have a computer that can kind of fix everything for you. You have all the nice sounds. You don't have to be like super tight. You can just program the computer to be tight for you, and uh, it's a nice tool it just suits me. I like sitting there and tweaking distortion amounts and uh, faders and all that stuff to just make it sound good. And I enjoy listening to electronic music as well, so I draw a lot of inspiration from that genre. So I guess it just fits me.
Awesome. What's the longest period of time it took as let me rephrase that. What's the longest period of time that it's ever taken you just to write one song, and what was causing it to take so long on it?
I don't keep tabs on that. I don't know. I guess a few songs have been like I've started writing something, and then I kind of save it for later, and then months later I can bring that project back up, and I find something new to add to that, and I continue building on something that's that I made months ago, and bring it home, so to speak, and finish it. So that can take, I mean, half a year to write one song, but that's not, a half a year of constantly working on the song. That's more like letting it rest and then returning to it and see if you have more inspiration the second time around. Uh, but generally, it takes a week maybe to get. It's easy to get a song. I can get a song within like half a day of work to 75%, but it's the last 25% when you're trying to make everything like the details work and work in, little subtle changes or alterations in the music that makes it worth listening to more than once, so that it keeps, you keep the listener keeps, uh, what's the word, discovering new stuff in the music, and lots of harmonies and details, and little fills in the drums and stuff like that, and mixing it so that it sounds professional and really really good. That's the hard part, and that takes a few more days of work, I'd say. So maybe a week generally is what it takes to write a song.
Nice. Just gonna go back into Payday. Who is your favorite Payday character, or who would you say is your favorite?
uh I think it's Chains.
What
just
makes
because
Chains?
I just because I love Damien Poitier. His attitude towards, you know just working with him is really nice. On a, like, if we just take out Chains of the equation, just, Damien, who portrays the character, is a really nice guy, easy to work with, easygoing, and happy to be there for us with his voice, with his gorgeous looks, and his stunt moves and everything. So it's a real pleasure to have someone in the crew that can add like he does. But I mean, we have more great voice actors, of course.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I'd say Chains, because of Damien, Chains is a real favorite. We had a different voice actor for Chains in the first game, and he was good too. He had a really unique voice, a really deep and you know booming and nice. But I think Damien really, he kind of added. He turned Chains into what I had always thought Chains should be. Um, it was different in the first game, but Damien in Payday 2 is how I imagined Payday. How I imagined Chains should sound like.
Yeah. I love watching Damien in the John Wick trailer that you guys made with like the how like all the police coming. It was really cool, and I saw some behind the scenes work, and he seemed like a very like awesome guy to at least like work with, and how he just wanted to take
Yeah,
like
he's
multiple
really nice.
takes. That's awesome. Um, what do you like to do when you're not creating music?
I like watching movies, some TV series, maybe working out in the gym, um, cooking food, meat mostly, like,
Nice.
ribs and hamburgers and red meat. That's my kind of food.
Oh, trust me,
So
as an American, I can greatly appreciate those.
yeah,
Now I'm hungry, and it's only 8:30 my time. It's like I just want ribs. It's never too early for that.
no, 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 no.
Nope. Awesome. What would you say is your favorite movie and favorite band or artist?
Oh, favorite movie. Well, I have a few that are really up there. I mean, it's if we're looking for action, it's probably Terminator 2 and Die Hard, the first Die Hard.
Great Christmas movie.
Those, yeah, those are really good. And Back to the Future, the first Back to the Future.
Oh
That
yeah.
that's it's type of movie that's not made anymore. And it's really like, I love that stuff. It's so clever, and it has everything, like suspense and some love and some a lot of humor and action. It's great. Um, Music, I don't know. Um,
The hard-hitting
It's
questions.
Yeah, it's really difficult. Like what I listen to a lot and it shaped me a lot is actually not electronic music. Like in my teens, I listened to a lot of alternative music. So it's probably something within that genre, like Soundgarden or Pearl Jam or something.
All right. All right. So, as I end with all my interviews, I'm going to ask you the same questions that I ask everybody, inspired by Inside the Actor Studios' James Lipton. We'll start off with, what's your default ringtone?
The whatever's the default marimba, I think,
Okay.
on my iPhone.
Nice. What is the most played song right now on your iPod?
I lost my my earbuds, so I don't actually listen to anything.
Mother of God. It's awful. Um, who's your guilty pleasure band?
Uh, what's let me I gotta Google this. I don't remember the name. Kelly Clarkson.
Kelly Clarkson. I was waiting for you to drop ABBA. It's like, he could also be biased about that.
I have like two of her CDs, physical CDs. I
Oh,
bought them,
wow.
so that's I don't listen to that much anymore. But I'm not gonna. That's my guilty pleasure music, I think.
Nice. What's your favorite song that you just love to just sing out loud, no matter like if like nobody's around, you're gonna sing about how off key you are.
Uh, anything by Pearl Jam.
Yeah. I could probably do that as well with Black or Jeremy.
Yeah, Jeremy's a nice one.
Granted, like I would try to do the voice and just be like, like I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure I won't even
you
say
gotta
anything.
have like your jaw is gonna you gotta push it out like that. It's very bad.
I'm almost getting to the Creed point, so we don't want to like blend those two together. If you could eat one meal for a straight week without any like health issues happening, what would it be?
Hmm. Hamburgers.
Hamburgers? Nice.
Yeah, pink in the middle.
Nice. Favorite superhero?
Iron Man.
Drink of choice, alcoholic or non alcoholic?
Um, tea.
Tea? Alright. Sweet or unsweet?
Unsweet.
Alright. To help settle a bet, is Mega Man a superhero?
No. Well, I mean, depends on your definition of a superhero, but he's a robot, so I don't know. He's a hero, but I don't know if he's well. He's built by someone. Are there other superheroes that are built by someone else?
Um, there probably is like a plenty, and I know the internet's probably like raging right now, going, "Oh my gosh, why are you not saying this?" But like for the life of me, I can't think of it right now. Um, I can't really think of like robot. I know he's like kind of like half human, half robot. I don't know if that kind of helps my case a little bit.
Oh, you're the one who thought he was a superhero.
Yes, my roommate and I literally have like this debate going on. It's like he says, "Who's your favorite superhero?" I'm like, "Oh, Mega Man." He's like, "That's not a superhero," and we've had this debate for like 3 years now. And so I'm
Okay,
leaving
I'm
it
not
to.
the one to settle. I'm not the one to settle the bet. You should maybe contact like KG Inafune or someone who can.
I should.
Someone at Capcom maybe can answer that question.
I'll try to get him on next. And
Yeah.
finally, your favorite internet video.
uh, what? It's probably the first, the first shredding video, the one with Kirk Hammett, where there's this learning tape where he teaches the riffs from the Black album or something, and someone replaced the original like sound of his guitar with something that sounds horrible, and now it's kind of blown out of proportion, and people start making these shreds videos of everything, like live videos and music videos and everything. But that's the most clever one because it's kind of like they let his voice is still in there, and but the guitar sounds like it's out of tune. The distortion on it is really like 12-year-old, boy in the who doesn't know anything about good distortion sound. It just sounds horrible, and they've made it. You can hear that whoever put the guitar sound on there kind of knows how to play those guitar, like the Metallica riffs. So when you see Kirk Hammett's fingers on the fretboard, it looks like he's the one playing these horrible. It's tight enough to be like to sell it, And
Yeah.
when I first saw that one, I was on the floor. I was howling with laughter because it was so. That was
That
so
sounds
funny.
awesome. That sounds hysterical. I'll check that out. I haven't seen that yet. Um, check out
I'm
his website.
overselling it now, but your expectations are too high now. But that was the first one I saw, so that was hilarious.
All right. You can check him out on his website, simonviklund.com. You can also find him find him on Twitter at Simon Viklund. Payday 2 is now available for PlayStation 3, PC, and Xbox 360 for $29.99. Most importantly, the soundtrack is on sale on Steam for $4.99. Also check out Bionic Commando, also Bionic Commando Rearmed. Simon, thank you so much for being a part of this. We'll definitely talk again when you are doing Walking Dead, or if you're ever in Orlando for some strange reason, we'll definitely hang out. Ladies and gentlemen, Simon Viklund, check him out. I will talk to you guys again soon. Check out him, check out my other videos. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, but other than that, keep gaming, and we will talk to you guys sometime.